Hey everyone, I know it's been a while. Yes, I'm chilling in here on my kitchen floor. It's what I do. Um, it's what I do when every other typical recording location is an absolute disaster. So, hey, my cabinets always look good as a background. Anyways, know it's been a while. Things have been mostly fine, but now they're not. And we've been navigating a situation for close to about a month and a half, 2 months now. And just want to let you guys know because I think there's good information to be had. So, one of the things about narcissists, borderlines, cluster Bs in general, they seek to take control. There can be any number of reasons for it. And like I said, it's a complex situation. Sometimes they seek control for the feelings of power and superiority if they're more towards the narcissistic side. If they're more towards the insecure, anxious side of things, then they can seek control for reasons of comfort and security, right? So as long as I'm the one calling the shots, I don't have to, less likely to be a victim, right? But there are certainly issues of control when you are dealing with people with cluster B disorders. And that came to that erupted into a major issue a couple of months ago. And it's this. My ex-wife got mad at my son and got rid of his dog. If my dog has an opinion now, he's scratching at the door. But yeah, my son has had a husky for a number of years. He just turned 14, and she got mad at him. Of course, she's been saying for years that she's getting tired of the dog, that he doesn't take proper care of the dog. Just all the typical nitpicky stuff. But here's the thing. First of all, and just the way I feel about it. You don't buy a family pet unless you know for damn sure that you're the parent and you will ultimately be taking care of the pet. Yes, an animal is a learning opportunity for children, but to try and expect them to have ultimate responsibility over another living creature is just shouldn't happen, right? Because you're setting a child up for failure, right? You don't ever just give an animal to a child and put that child 100% in control of the animal, right? And then whatever happens is ultimately up to the child. No, right? My son's 14. 14-year-old children can barely feed themselves in a kitchen full of food, right? And so, but she got mad. She got rid of the dog, or at least she pestered him and got my son and his stepdad just so exhausted with dealing with her constant complaining and attitude that they both relented and agreed to get rid of the dog. And my son has been absolutely devastated ever since. He came over here on the following Thursday, and he was so upset. As soon as he came through the door, he just fell apart and was just bawling his eyes out. He'd been trying to hold it together like that whole week. And of course, on top of that, she is texting him and bullying him and telling him that he had a terrible attitude and didn't appreciate him being snarky. It's like, well, the fuck you think's gonna happen getting rid of a teenager's dog, right? For no good reason. Of course he's gonna be snarky. He's not a big fan of you right now, right? And so I took the phone away and I placed the phone in her front yard and then notified her because I don't go on private property. End of story. I'm not about to even step foot on her curb. So I sent the phone back, and then he stayed with me for a week without her permission. But I felt he needed a safe place to decompress, to heal, and to process what had happened. She, of course, threatened to call the police and all those things. I told her, go right ahead. It's a civil issue. It's not kidnapping if you know where your child is and if your child's with a parent, right? So And I told her, he's here. He doesn't want to see you. He doesn't want to go home. And I'm not going to make him. He'll go home when he's ready. So, but I gave him a week. Anyways, now it's immediately, it has now become the cat. They're threatening to get rid of the cat next, right? And so he came to me all devastated. And here's the thing about this progression. Those of us that have dealt with this for a long time are not surprised in the least, right? Because the issue is not the dog or failure to take responsibility for the dog or the animal. Has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with a position of control and leverage and a way of controlling what people do, right? And in this situation, what happens is they get addicted and used to having the leverage, the control, the authority that comes with having that threat. When you acquiesce and give in and say, okay, you know what? Maybe the dog is the problem. Maybe things will be better if we get rid of the dog. All I know is I'm fucking miserable now. And who knows, I'll still be miserable after we get rid of the dog, but maybe I won't have to hear about it so much, right? Will that happen? No. Why? Because as soon as they lose that position of leverage, authority, control, and power, they will immediately seek that again. Because it's not, it's an irrational process, okay? Reasons are not reasons. Reasons are just an after effect, right? So they want the power, and then everything with the reasons and all of that is just a squishy blob of whatever words work to justify having the power, okay? So yeah, they're now going on to getting rid of his cat. The crazy thing is, right, I told him, it's like, that's not your cat. That's her cat. That was her cat with me while her and I were married. Like, Luna has never been your cat. Luna was always her cat. So why are they suddenly making the cat yours? Oh, it's because in order to cope with losing your dog, you have now started finding comfort in the cat, because you sure as hell can't find comfort in any of the adults in the house. You have to get your comfort from other creatures living in the house with you, right? So now because that is his source of, of affection, right? That is his most sought after source of affection and security. They're now using that for leverage and control. And, what I told him, I said, this is, what happened. And I explained all this to him. I said, this is exactly what happens. And for every time that you finally relent and give in and say, okay, you know what, fine, right? Then you will have agreed to it, and they will immediately replace that with some new threat for the position of leverage and control, right? So it doesn't matter. It will forever be a never-ending cycle of abuse of power, of putting the blame on you, of driving you absolutely mad and crazy. So what have I been doing? Well, I immediately paid for a full year's worth of kickboxing for him 2 times a week. So you need a physical outlet. You're a boy. And this is proven that muscles are basically like an endocrine organ. When your muscles contract, when you exercise, when you do all those things, they produce neurotransmitters that are known for antidepressant, for mood improvement, all of those things, right? My son is unfortunately overweight and more of a mathlete than an athlete, and coincidentally depressed and always in a dark place and generally not very happy. And he thinks that he's unhappy because of his weight, and I tell him it's not because of your weight, it's because of your lack of neurotransmitters, right? You need an outlet, right? You need to be able to hit something several days a week and deal with all these feelings that you're currently dealing with. So he has that, and he's improving a lot. Um, what did I tell him about the cat? Well, son, first of all, she's not your cat. She's your mom's cat. It's weird that they're trying to frame that. It's disingenuous. Second of all, just tell her, if you don't want her to get rid of the cat, then all you have to do is just confidently say, well, get rid of her then. You go ahead, get rid of her. Why not? You got rid of my dog, get rid of the cat too. You have to do several things. So ways to take the power back and to take the power away from them is show that, because remember, they are seeking power. So if you show them that a particular threat holds leverage and power over you, that is what they will fixate on, right? So if there's no power and leverage to be had in the threat, they will move on to find some other threat. And so what do you do? Well, the best thing to do in a situation when you're dealing with a power-hungry, manipulative, something of a person, the best thing to do is the things you care about, you should show them that they don't have any power or leverage over you on those things. And the things that you really don't care about, pretend that you do. And then you stay there and you just let them threaten you with things that you don't really care about. Oh, but you pretend, oh no, please, no, don't get rid of my ankle socks. My ankle socks I'm emotionally attached to. Please, no, not my socks, right? So something like that. I'm pretty sure they're going to see right through the sock analogy, but you get the idea, right? And then you just make that the line of contention. Because the moment you acquiesce, they will replace it with something else, and you'll be right back to where you were before. So, if you're stuck living with somebody inalienably and you can't get away from this person, it is true, pick and choose your battles, and that carries far more meaning when you're in a situation like this than it would otherwise, right? You have to pick and choose your battles intelligently. So pick your battle, choose your battle, choose what it's going to be. Make the battleground something that you're pretty strong in, pretty strong about, and have no real fear about, right? And go with that. So yeah, that's currently where we're at. Fortunately, I think my son is mature. He's finally maturing to the point where he's understanding the dynamic of why I left his mother, why the divorce happened, and all the things, all of the history that has always just sort of flown over his head. I think with the loss of the dog, he's finally seeing it. And I told him when I was married to her, when I first entered a relationship with her, I had a dog, and me having the dog almost led to a divorce because she couldn't stand the dog and wanted me to get rid of my dog. And I was like, absolutely not. I had my dog when we met. I had my dog when we got married. I will still continue to have my dog. And the closest I ever came is I told her, you know what? If you find a good, proper, forever home, or somebody like you do the work, you find him a home that's better than this one. If you find him a better home, I will put him in the better home because I love him. But other than that, unless you're going to find a better home for him, you can forget it. He eventually died. And then after that, we went through 4 more dogs, and not on account of me. It was one of these things where she says, I want to get you another dog. Again, the whole, see whenever they want something or whenever they need something, right? They will offer, she will offer something, right, to get on your good side. And then when they need control, they threaten to take that thing away. And so over and over and over, it was a pattern of offering to get another dog, offering to get another dog, offering to get another dog. We get another dog, and then it's threatening to get rid of the dog, threatening to get rid of the dog over and over and over. Then we get rid of the dog, and then it's offering to get another dog. I went through that with her 5 times. She doesn't even like dogs. She got mauled by a dog whenever she was like 8 or 9 years old. She got mauled by a Rottweiler. She's afraid of dogs. So, and I told him this, and he was shocked to find out because he didn't know. And I said, the sad fact of the matter is that dog was never going to live its entire life there at your house. I mean, the moment she said that she was getting you a dog, I knew right away the day would come where she's getting rid of the dog. She did that with me 5 times. She's gonna do that with you too. All right, you're nothing sacred to her. Dogs are not sacred to her. So, yeah, pick and choose your battle. Do it wisely. Fight over something that you really don't care if you lose or keep, but keep the battle on something like that. You can't get out of the house. You can't get away from a person, but the least you can do is understand that person. And whenever they go for the power grab, show them that that there's no power to be had in that particular grab, if it's something you care about. And then if it's something you don't care about, just let them fixate on that. It gives you some breathing room, right? It's always great whenever somebody's threatening you with something you don't really care about, right? Well, it's your problem, right? So, anyways, that's all I got. Please like, comment, or share, and I'll see y'all on the next video.